Good evening, everybody. This is Thomas Kreifeld with OVR PCA, the safety chair, and tonight I'm going to walk you through the tech inspection. Now, the purpose for this is to inform our tech inspectors. A secondary portion of this could be to understand what it's like to go through tech and what that means, what we're really looking for. So, without further ado, I'm going to start off with step one for our tech guys. First and foremost, there's going to be a sticker like this. It's going to go through each one of the functions of our tech form. The first person that's on site, or team one if you will, they're going to go through and they're going to place these stickers on the windshield. Now, if you follow me over here, we're going to be placing these stickers at the bottom of the windshield right here. As you can see, it says tech form, helmet, floor mats, seat belts, brake light, secure battery, brake pads, torque lug nuts, and car overall, and the numbers applied. Now, what we're going to step through here is the tech form itself. Tech form should be filled out. This is for both driver and tech inspection. This tech form needs to be filled out prior to arrival at the event, and it should be filled out prior to getting to tech. This is not something you fill out the night of. If you do wait till that point, this is a means for us to ask you not to run that weekend, especially if your car is in a dissatisfactory state. So, first and foremost, the first person that's going to get to the car is going to be the person that applies the stickers. The second team is going to go through a helmet and floor mat check. Now, this car is obviously a prepped car. We don't go to anything but the track in this car, so we're not going to have floor mats. But to check the helmet, you're going to peel. If you were looking at the helmet straight on, it's going to be the top right hand side typically. You're going to peel the lining back to expose the Snell sticker. As of this year, 2005 this is the last event we're going to allow, 2005, and this is for the June OVR event. This is the last 2005 we're allowing. So from here on out, it's 2010 to 2015 on. All right, helmet check. So second thing on that is floor mats and safety belts. So we'll go in. One, as you can see, there are no floor mats in this car. But checking the safety belts, there are two things we're checking for. One, equal restraints, both driver and passenger side. The second thing is if you do have a car with safety belts such as these, we're checking for fraying, really. We're looking for worn out belts, things of that nature. We're not really necessarily looking for dates so much in a DE, but we are checking for quality of their life. That's really all we're after. Same thing goes for the seats. We're not going to look at the date of the FIA certifications for the seats either. And the other check during this time while you're inside is it's a good time to go ahead and have the driver turn on the car and apply the brakes and check for brake lights. So wait for a second, I'm going to let her get to the back, and you want to make sure that the brake lights are coming on when they press the brake pedal. Okay. Just a good thing to check while we're there. We already got the car. The next thing, along with the second check, is a secure battery. So depending on where the battery is located in the car, the driver should know. Not always, but the driver should know. There are some interesting ones like the Miatas and some of the Beamers. They're going to be located in the trunk or even underneath the back seat for certain cars. But we need to make sure that that battery is secure, such as this. So we're checking to make sure that that thing's not going to move in the event of a rollover. We're also checking to make sure that the positive terminal is covered. This is covered up with racer's tape, as you can see here. That is perfectly acceptable. Racer's tape. Really, the only thing we're after is if in an event of a rollover and a part comes loose, we don't want it to be able to arc and start a fire. As you can tell, in this particular case, the gas tank is right here in close proximity to the battery. We want to make sure that that does not cause a fire in the event of a wreck or rollover. Okay. Guess while we're in there, another good check while we have the hood open here, front boot for this one. You can take a look at the brake fluid. Most cars you can't see them, especially early 911s, Caymans, things of that nature. This is all covered underneath. You really can't see the fluid, but in this car you can. Cars you can, it's a good idea to take a look at the fluid. If you see a brown or black fluid in there, pretty good indication that they've not changed their brake fluid in some time. So just a good check. All right. Next up, we're checking brake pads and torque on lug nuts. Again, this is going to be a separate crew going through this. In this particular car, I really can't depict it in the camera, but you can really see through the wheel. Most cars you can see through the wheels, and you can tell where the brake pads are. This one's got about 75% left on the pad. And in the rear here, I'm not going to try so much, but luckily enough I can see it. It's just the dish of this wheel really obstructs my vision. But we're just checking for life of brake pads there. Also checking torque of lug nuts. New Porsche's just up their spec to well over 100 pounds, 100 foot-pounds of torque. We're not going to go that high initially, but once they release which cars are going to be affected by that, we'll incur. This car in particular is torqued to 94 foot-pounds. I often use a clicker torque wrench. Not everybody uses a clicker. Some people, I hope nobody still uses a dial, but in the event that you do, just make sure you're torquing to 94 foot-pounds. Clicker's probably the most commonly used. All right, so now we've checked helmets, floor mats, safety belts, brake lights, secure battery, brake pads, and torque lug nuts. An overall look at the car. Car like this, if it came through, I would probably give it a very general look, especially if a team or a place such as Wright Motorsports or POV takes care of the car. I'm generally not going to spend as much time on it. Now, if you roll up and the car is looking like it's barely held together, that's where I'm going to spend a little bit more time doing the overall check. Good things to check are around the engine. So if you can see around it, just look in, look around, make sure that there's no drips, leaks, things of that nature. Just overall condition. Our main purpose here is that we're not going to let somebody who's basically glued their car together get out on the track and injure everybody else. The last overall is that the number is applied. This is recent as of last year, but we are now applying numbers in OVR. We want to make sure the numbers applied at Tech. If they absolutely cannot do the number application before Tech, they better have a good reason, because it's just, we need to make sure that they meet the specification of a 5-inch letter that is contrasting to body color. If a car shows up with a black car with black letters, or black numbers for that matter, you can't see them. That's not a good contrasting color, and that's why we really want to check it here. We don't want it to wait till they're in the hot pits trying to roll out on the track and we realize that the colors don't contrast, or they don't contrast to the body color, or that they're so small they can't see them. If this was your numbers here on the side of the car, when they're rolling by Thunder Valley or going through the kink on the back straight, nobody could read something of that font when they're rolling by at 100+ miles an hour. So probably going to have a tough time seeing it. So we want to make sure that they're large, legible, and contrasting the body color. Just a general overview check. When we go through, we want to be courteous to those who are being teched. Those are our customers, and we want to make sure that they come back. So let's be courteous to them as tech inspectors, and we want to be sure to ensure that they're having a good time. If they do have trouble, or they do have an issue with their car, such as safety belts issues, anything along those lines, we want to make sure that we handle it accordingly. We don't make them feel like they're inferior to us, but we can resolve it. If it can't be resolved, that's understandable. We will handle it as such. But if there is an issue such as a loose battery, non-secured or non-covered, these things can be remedied pretty easily. We want to take our time as a group and make sure that those going through Tech are taken care of accordingly. So without further ado, that is the process that we go through. And if you guys have any questions, you can email me at tskrifield, CRIHFIELD @gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer any questions about the Tech process. Or if you're somebody that's going through Tech for the first time, or even a second or third and you've never really been involved, and you have questions, feel free to reach out as well. Thank you.